Let the church say amen. I say, let the church say amen. Let the church say amen, 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 Thompson. All right, man, how about them Rockets? How about them Rockets? Took care of business against them Warriors. Took care of business, y'all. And a lot of people telling me, well, it's Warrior fans. Yeah, Warriors in five. Yeah, y'all only won that game because Jimmy Butler got hurt. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. The only way to stop Steph Curry, you got to hold him, grab him, and all that stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. Steph Curry had 13 points tonight. Psh, I mean, hey, not tooting my own Rockets horn. I'm just saying he had 13 points tonight. There was no kicking, grabbing, holding, none of that. He got ripped by the man Thompson twice. You know, Steph Curry, he's still great. He's still great. That's why it's so impressive to see Amen Thompson rip him twice. He ripped a great player twice. Clean rips. Clean rips. It was so clean that when Steph got ripped both times, he didn't complain. Hey man, he fouled me. He fouled me. Ref, did you see that? He fouled me. Okay. All right. Ripped him so clean. Jimmy Butler took off running, still fouled him in Thompson, and he got the dunk off. I'm just saying, you know, like people want to say, act like you've been there before. Well, guess what? This iteration of the Rockets, they haven't been there before. And then let me tell you something. If you ever stole the ball from Steph Curry, even if you're a Warriors fan, oh, you going to be like, oh, yeah, you saw what I did? He might have scored a bunch of points on me, but I ripped him. 13 points. That's awesome. Anytime you hold Steph Curry to 13 points, Jimmy Butler to 8 points, let me tell you something, people. You must win that game. Rockets took care of business, man. Fred VanVleet, this offense looks way different when he's knocking down threes because he's our best three-point shooter out there. And when he's out there breaking it, oh, man, it's not good. It's not a good day in H-Town, all right? It's not. But, man, Fred VanVleet, Fred VanVleet was stroking. Y'all remember that song, man? Fred was stroking out there, man. Jalen Green came out aggressive. Yeah, my dude, he had 11 points. That's cool. But he pulled down 8 boards. He was aggressive. You understand what I'm saying? Aggressive. He was aggressive in the moments that mattered more and stuff. And you hear one thing that I give the Warriors credit, especially Draymond Green, when you hear him talk about the game. He talks about like playing winning basketball, championship basketball. Like a person you could go and play on a team and put up gaudy stats, average 20, 25 a game. But when you playing on a team that's trying to seriously compete and contend for a championship, your 25 points may translate into 10 to 12 points because you gotta take better shots. And you got some players, they may get more points when the game is already out of hand and the defense is not all up on you. Whereas, the defense is like backing up because they're like, this game is over. But 11 points, 8 rebounds. He attacked a lot more than he did the previous game. I still want this young man to attack even more. Okay? Think Leandro Barbosa, Clyde the Glide Drexler, man. Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, like Jalen Green. Go watch this stuff, man. Watch this stuff. I love what Fred VanVleet said earlier before the game. Well, yesterday, he says, hey, man, Jalen Green has a lot of potential. The only two guard I see that really has the more potential than him, with what is right at this moment, is Ant-Man. Okay, but, I mean, you could say D-Book, but D-Book has been in the league longer and is more skilled than Jalen Green, but so it's a huge upside for Jalen Green. And it's great to hear that from Fred VanVleet because I found those words inspiring and it inspired me to have a little bit more faith in Jalen Green. And I never lost faith, but man, I want to see this dude get to that point where he what's the word? Where he tap into his max potential. You know what I'm saying? And to have Fred VanVleet say that, man, that is inspiring. So you need great leadership like that. And I'm gonna tell you something. I love how Dylan Brooks played today. I was listening to Gil's Arena podcast earlier, and I had to rethink about how I thought about Dylan Brooks because at first I'm like, okay, they could trade him, they don't need him. But let me tell you something about Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks, he brings it every night. He's gonna bring it. Just because a player misses a lot of shots doesn't mean the player's not bringing it. He's gonna bring it. And in the last game, at the end of Game 4, that press conference, Jimmy Butler said, "No, me and Dylan Brooks are not friends. It's not fun. He's an elite competitor. I'm an elite competitor." He referred to Dylan Brooks as an elite competitor and stuff, and this is a peer. You understand what I'm saying? So that's one of those things. You want to keep players like Dylan Brooks on your team, Fred VanVleet, Steve Adams, because those guys, they're going to compete every night. And I think that right there makes a person very, very professional. And I think it's great. The fact that to possess the ability to consistently bring it every time you out there on the court, even if you just had your worst game or your best game. You're even killed. You don't get too high off the good situations. You don't get too low off the bad situations. And that's something that these Rockets, these young players need to be watching. Amen Thompson, I was so impressed with that young man today. He was so even killed. But I gotta believe, I gotta believe that Amen Thompson listened to my podcast or checked out my TikTok video or my YouTube short video where I said, hey man, hey, your brother, Asur Thompson, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing the first name wrong, but he had 22 points, 7 rebounds in 29 minutes in a victory against the New York Knicks. You gonna let your brother outdo you? You gonna come on now. Come on now. Like, you gotta find a source of motivation and stuff, man. My children, man, I have 4 kids, 3 boys and a girl. And you know what? I'm like, you gonna let your brother outrun you right there? You gonna, oh man, come on now. Then you gonna let your brother do more push-ups than you, man? Come on, man. Next thing you know what? Oh, got him up by 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Oh, and Jalen Green. Hey, man, I think Jalen Green does watch the show. I really do. But, hey, go check out my TikTok video and my YouTube short where I straight up say, hey, yo, Jalen, man, check this out. Cade Cunningham had 24 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and a victory against the New York Knicks in New York. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I guess that's why they drafted him ahead of you, right, Jalen Green? He's bringing it. He made the All-Star team. So what you gonna do? Jalen Green came out there with some good energy and stuff. Now, I did get a little bit alarmed for a little bit. I got nervous and scared because I saw that he bumped knees with Steph Curry, and all of a sudden he wasn't in the game. And I'm like, man, when he's finally starting to reignite that fire, now this happens. So it's like, come on, man. Come on now. But, hey, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, Rockets. Yeah, I had the hat backwards because, the lighting. The lighting, you know what I'm saying? The lighting, you can barely see my face. It's like I'm Batman or something, so now you can see my face when I do this, you know what I'm saying? But, great game by the Rockets. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them. Now, my prophecy that I had was Rockets in 6, but the thing about it is about prophecies, things change. So, I mean, it has to be Rockets in 7 then. Has to be Rockets in 7. Is it possible? You doggone right. It is possible. It is possible. You a Warriors fan, you don't like what I'm saying? Okay, I don't expect you to like it, so let's not waste each other's time and try to get in this convincing thing, because I'm never going to say you're right. You're never going to say I'm right. It's all good. No problem. Just be respectful. But I did get nervous a bit. I didn't like what was going on toward the end of the game. I felt like Rockets head coach Ime Udoka was dealt with a dilemma, but you could probably say it's a good dilemma, because he had by 30 some points, almost fourth quarter, And it's like, all right, man, the other team don't have their starters in. You straight up dominate them. You beat them to submission, and it's like, all right, well, you get your young bulls in, and they brought in the young bulls, Reed Shepard and stuff. Holiday been getting some minutes, especially with Green getting hurt, and they brought in the backup players, and the Warriors' backup players started making a run. They're out there competing, while the Rockets' backups, they're just trying to feel like they was trying to just run the clock out, go with the flow. But I respect the hell out of the Warriors bench players coming in being competitive. And then that's when the Rockets bench. Well, the Rockets brought their starters back in because they cut the lead down to 17, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this. So, because the way I look at it, outside of trying to prevent injury from our players, they should have been out there. See, our team is not old like the Warriors team is. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like this was if the Rockets jumped on them early, then the Warriors, they're going to end up resting their players. Because I really felt like the last thing that they wanted is to play 39 or 40 minutes. But I'm going to tell you something. Hey, man, listen. We got to run them. We got to run them down. We got to run them. We got to keep running them. Amen Thompson was pushing that ball, and Jalen Green was pushing it. They was pushing the flow, and the Rockets, you got to keep that pace. But I did not like the fact that the Warriors' backups were they started to become. It felt like they was giving them a jolt of energy and stuff, and I don't want that momentum carry on to the next game. But at the same time, the Rockets, they're a young team. One day of rest in between the games, that shouldn't impact the Rockets heavily. So it is what it is. Our backups came back into the game and they preserved the lead, and the Rockets maintained and took care of business. But hey man, it feels good to get that victory. Feels good. You got to take it one day at a time, one game at a time, because in life, when you look at more than one step at a time or more than one game at a time, that's how you easily become overwhelmed, and you start overthinking and at times doubting yourself. So it's very important that this team take it one game at a time. Enjoy, celebrate this victory here. We live to play another day. That's all. We live to play another day. We live to play another day. That's all. So hey man, hey. Feels good. But I'm glad this game came on early. I don't like watching the late games, especially if we lose, because I suck the next day. I am a terrible person. I am grumpy. I am worse than Ebenezer Scrooge up in this piece. But I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not Ebenezer Scrooge because it feels so doggone good when the Rockets get that victory. You know what I'm saying? That victory. So, hey, if you're having a drink, have a drink for your boy. Hey, man, and celebrate. Rockets took care of business, you know what I'm saying? On to game 6. Back to Golden State. Back to the Bay. So hopefully if the Rockets take care, we're hoping the Rockets take care of business in game 6. Then we'll have a game 7 on Sunday. That's what I'm talking about. Right before Cinco de Mayo. You know what I'm saying? But, hey. Anyway, share your thoughts. Let me know what you thought about the Rockets versus the Warriors, Game 5. You know what I'm saying? What was your favorite part or what was your worst part of the game? My 2 favorite parts, like I say, was an Amen Thompson. You picked Steph Curry clean twice. And there's no foul or anything, and the fact that Steph didn't even complain twice, it goes to show you he legit got his cookies took right there. But Rockets, we still got to bring it on Game 6 because hey, Warriors, they getting a little rested up, and I'm pretty sure they're itching to get the Rockets back. But guess what? We're still itching to get them back too. And you know what's another thing? It goes to show you that this team has great perseverance and resilience, because to lose that game the way they lost in Game 4 in Golden State, most of the time when you lose like that, especially when you're a young team, you get blown out the next game because you still thinking about what could have been. No, they went out there refocused and was very strong mentally. serious. And I don't think the Warriors were expecting that, because you saw how Draymond Green responded in that press conference after game 4. He was talking as if it's straight up over, like it was the best 3 out of 5. But the Rockets, guess what? They came and they conquered and did the doggone thing, man. And the Warriors wasn't ready for that. It's like, dang. You know what I'm saying? They thought this young team was going to be just distraught, and that's it. And I'm going to tell you something. Hopefully, Jalen Green can be more consistent with his confidence and focus, because that's the next step. That is the next step. We could literally come back and win this series if that young man is focused and locked in. But, hey, we'll talk about that later. Thank you all for tuning in. Please hit that like and subscribe button. And thank you for taking the time out of your busy day and night for giving my podcast a listen. Stu Nutty Game Podcast. Peace out.